Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? I made a really cute cookie and I wanted to show you guys step by step on how to make it. So here I have my flooded and dried cookie and I've already traced the image of the elephants of the balloons onto the cookie. If you've seen one of my previous videos of how to trace on a cookie without a projector, I use this method to get the image on the cookie. Now I'm just going to pipe my outline on the edges and try to cover as much of the black edible marker as I can, as I don't want that to come through on the cookie after. The edible marker that I prefer to use is one that has a finer tip because it's very thin and I can get these small lines and it's much easier to cover when I'm piping over it. When I have really thin areas, for example, like the trunks of the elephants, what I like to do is just fill it in with my piping consistency, my outline consistency, because they're really thin. And so to flood that area, first of all, it's really hard to flood such a small area without going out of my outline. And second, it might crater. So I prefer to use a thicker icing there. And it's such a small area, it takes a little wiggle of your scribe and you'll smooth it out in no time. Although the cookie is pretty big, the actual design is pretty small. So I make sure that my bag has a really small hole so I have full control over my flood icing. Those elephants and that little balloon is very tiny. So if your hole is really big, you'll overfill that. And one of two things could happen is that your flood goes over your outline and spills over and ruins your design. Or the second thing is that your balloon will end up, or your elephant will end up really sort of thick and it's prone to cratering more. So I try not to fill them too much. I already have a layer of icing underneath, so I didn't really want these too puffy to have too much icing on top. But you can see that I don't fully fill the elephant in like I would normally, just to prevent cratering happening. And I sort of spread the icing thinner so it dries evenly instead of having the outsides dry and not the middle, and that's what happens when you get a crater. Once I've filled in the elephant and the balloons, I'm gonna stick my cookie in the dehydrator. It's a great tool if you guys don't have one. If you are moving into doing cookies for people or have orders or you wanna start a business, I highly suggest getting one. It really speeds up the process. So here I'm using one so that I can speed up the drying process, so I can go ahead and put some details on with my edible marker. So now with the fine tip of my edible marker, I'm just gonna outline my balloons and my elephant and just add a few lines in for detail.